Coming up on Fox 4 News at 9.
The Kansas governor's budget decisions that could affect your child's education.
All this Pacific Energy takes aim on the end of our weekend. We'll talk about snow again.
I will always be a Scorpio at heart.
The shifting of the zodiac and the new 13th sign.
From the station that's working for you, you're watching Fox 4 News at 9.
First on Fox at 9, brace yourself for a school's budget battle. Kansas' new governor taking the state budget to the chopping block.
And that could cause more pain to an already hurting educating system. Fox 4's Tara Hall is working for you live at Olathe School District headquarters with what the cuts will mean for students. Tara?
Under Brownback's new proposal, he says he's going to increase spending on schools like this one here in Olathe. However, educators say that's not exactly the case.
The governor's budget increases spending per pupil, but some of that increase is for teacher retirement and capital improvement, not classroom education. At the same time, Brownback's budget decreases the so-called base state aid, the amount the state pays each district to educate its students, an amount that educators say matters the most.
We're like most school districts. In the past 2 years, we've been facing the cuts and trying to deal with those the best that we could.
During those 2 years, Superintendent Marlon Berry has cut $20 million from the Olathe School District's budget.
We've kind of tried to step up to the plate and make those cuts. We're just concerned now about the proposed cuts for the future in terms of going even deeper.
If Brownback's proposal is approved by the legislature, Berry says he will need to cut $2.5 million from the budget this school year and just over $5 million next year, and still keep those standards high.
So while that bar keeps going up, now we are back to 1999 state aid levels. It's become even more of a challenge for us.
Berry worries about how all of these cuts will affect children and their learning experience in the classroom.
It very much impacts the classroom. We're having to have a few more kids in each classroom. We're having to do with fewer resources to try and impact the learning in the classroom.
Now it's up to the legislature to modify or accept the governor's proposal.
And overall, Brownback's budget-reducing measures should be cutting the state budget by about 6%. Tara Hall, Fox 4 News, working for you live tonight in Olathe, Kansas.
Thank you, Tara. Meantime, Missouri's state budget for public education is in no great shape either. But Governor Nixon is releasing some much-needed money to schools. Fox 4's Phil Witt is here working for you on that. Phil?
Yeah, Susan, the state's cash balances are improving, and Governor Jay Nixon today freed up $7.5 million for public school busing. That reverses a portion of his previous spending cuts for schools, but the governor is insisting there is still no reason to be overly optimistic about the state's improved finances. The money amounts to a little more than 10% of the $70 million he withheld in school transportation funds when the budget year began last summer. With news that the state's cash balances have been improving, some state lawmakers were beginning to question Governor Nixon's continuation of the school funding cut. The governor's staff said he had decided to release the money today before news conferences by lawmakers were scheduled to talk about the issue. Phil Witt, Fox 4 News, working for you.
Right, big question of the night on the weather front. Can we stay in double digits overnight? We haven't done well this week.
We're keeping our fingers crossed, and then for an extended period of time.
We're going to do our very best. We might see some single digits next week after our next chance of...
Don't say it.
Unmentionable.
That four-letter word.
But for the time being, have you been outside tonight?
No.
Oh, it's balmy.
No kidding.
21 degrees. Incredible.
That's a big improvement.
It is. After 6 below, you're talking a major percentage increase. If only my stocks would do as well. Yikes. We had a very glacial-looking sunset this evening. Absolutely gorgeous. Kind of a violet glow in the sky as the cirrus coming in off the Pacific rolled overhead. That will continue along with the development of low cloudiness overnight tonight that I tend to think is going to make us pretty gray for most of the day tomorrow. As Susan alluded to, it was a cold morning. 6 below at KCI, the coldest of the year, likely the coldest this winter. Even though we've got some more cold air on the way, it doesn't necessarily mesh up with what happened this morning. And as you can see, our temperature is beginning to steady out at 21 degrees. Colder air to the north. We've got a little bit of a south breeze, and that's building humidity levels. So as the humidity climbs, the low clouds will form, and I think you'll wake up to gray skies Temperature's about 16 degrees and lots of clouds and 30. I boosted it to 34 tomorrow just to improve your Friday outlook a little bit, but that's as good as it gets. We'll talk about where we go from there coming up, John.
All right, thanks, Mike. Spring Hill records not just one, but several drug busts in that small Kansas town. The arrests go back to last year. Tonight, law enforcement spoke about the ongoing investigation. Fox 4 working for you with more on that. New tonight, Fox 4 News at 10. The deadly shooting at a Northland gas station results in the arrest of a 16-year-old. Kansas City, Missouri police arresting the teen at his home last night. Officers think they found the murder weapon in the home, too. 28-year-old Salvatore Mendocino died at the shooting Sunday at Northeast Parvin and Brighton. A chase and crash lead to the arrest of a murder suspect and the recovery of a recently stolen gun. Officers arresting Tylen Thomas in Cass County yesterday. They recovered a gun stolen from the shop and pawn store on 40 Highway. Thomas, a suspect in a 2010 murder in Kansas City as well. If you happen to know who Thomas hangs out with, call the TIPS hotline, 816-474-TIPS.
Fix it up or tear it down. That's the ultimatum the Shawnee City Council is giving to one homeowner. A firefighter died in the blaze that destroyed the home last May. Now, 7 months after the fire, the home still sits vacant, boarded up, and roofless. That's why the City Council adopted the resolution that forces the homeowner to remodel it or demolish it.
The structure itself is unsafe. Walls are not braced properly, and the floor could be a possible hazard.
The owner has 30 days to decide whether he wants to tear down the house or repair it. A car accident knocks out the heat for some of the most vulnerable people here in the metro. St. Mary's Manor, a nursing home, lost heat when a crash damaged the gas line. The staff moved many of the residents into a common area and shut the doors to contain the heat. Home Depot provided 30 portable space heaters.
They were talking about, taking us to a hotel, and I got a little nervous then because I didn't know what was going to happen, but as it turned out, we didn't have to be. So.
Missouri Gas Energy restored heat 4 hours later. The temperature never dropped below 70 degrees inside the home.
Kansas City Mayor Mark Funkhauser has a security detail, and he's not happy about it. Plus, in 20 minutes, some good news. The problem solvers find some local businesses with big hearts to provide a warm home.
Tonight on Fox 4 News at 9, a very active Pacific flow, still plenty of cold air, equals a chance for more snow in the updated Long Ranger at 9.
Put the power in your morning drive with Fox 4 Power Traffic, working for you.
Save 20, 50, up to 70% off at Big Bob's Outlet 2011 sales event going on now. Save up to 70% off new sofas, new living room groups, new bedroom sets, and new dining room set. Save 20, 50, up to 70% off new leather sofas, new living room chairs, and new mattresses. Plus, get 6 months interest-free financing at the 2011 sales event. Hurry in now to Big Bob's Outlet. Always new, never used. 3 convenient locations or check out bigbobsoutlet.com.
Discover the colors of the Starving Artist's art sale. Discover the beauty that real hand-painted oils can bring to your home. Original sofa-size paintings sold elsewhere for hundreds of dollars, as low as $19. Smaller paintings from $7, and absolutely nothing over $59. This Sunday only. Discover the Starving Artist's art sale.
In Independence at the Hilton Garden Inn and in Overland Park at the Doubletree. Original sofa-size oil paintings from $19. This Sunday, 11 to 4.
If you're like I am, you live with a physical disability that limits your daily activities. At The Whole Person, I discovered an organization that helps me live the way I want to. Their consumer-directed services program allows me to hire an attendant to help me with everyday activities like bathing, cooking, and cleaning. So if you or someone you know has a physical disability, has Missouri Medicaid, is 18 years of age or older, and able to manage their own affairs, contact The Whole Person today at 816-358-5310 or online at thewholeperson.org.
The lowest prices and best selection of new Fords is at Thoroughbred Ford. Choose from our huge selection. Keep the factory rebates. Plus, get $5,000 Thoroughbred cash back. Thoroughbred Ford in Northland at I-29 and Perry Road and in Platte City.
In another sign of recovery, Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords moved her arms and legs today, less than a week after being shot in the head. 6 people died in Saturday's shooting. Today, hundreds of people attended the funeral for a 9-year-old victim. An American flag from the World Trade Center was on display at her service. The Arizona shooting spree fallout reaches all the way here to City Hall.
Yeah, 2 police officers will now provide full-time security to Mayor Mark Funkhauser, who doesn't want it. As Fox 4's John Pepitone reports.
As Mayor Mark Funkhauser arrived at the funeral of a Kansas City firefighter, he had 2 police bodyguards with him. The police chief ordered 2 officers to provide full-time security for the mayor from now on, as a result of the assassination attempt on an Arizona congresswoman that left 6 people dead and 14 others injured.
We actually sent letters to the council members and also all state and federal politicians who are going to be coming into Kansas City holding any type of public meetings. We're going to make a policy that 2 officers are at all of those events. Once again, to make sure that the politicians are safe, and then also to make sure that the citizens that are attending, if they know we are there, then hopefully more will come out and attend those events.
The mayor, who has made hiring more police officers a central theme in his re-election campaign, says he told the chief he would prefer to have his 2 bodyguards fighting crime in the neighborhoods. Police say one of the officers has been pulled off patrol duties to provide security to the mayor.
I don't think it's the wisest use of resources. I didn't think that in 2007. I don't think it today. But again, ultimately, that's not my call. He told me that they were going to be assigned to me. I think the quote is like ticks on a June bug, whether I kind of liked it or didn't.
The mayor says he's never been concerned about his safety or felt threatened in public. He says his office has received death threats. The security detail is estimated to cost taxpayers about $200,000 a year.
Fox 4's John Pepitone reporting tonight.
Police say it's just as important to protect citizens who attend those public meetings with elected leaders as it is to safeguard politicians themselves. Call it a problem solved and not a moment too soon. The Fox 4 problem solvers bring the warmth back to one home. Mike?
And Susan, the combination of snow on the ground and warming air is the perfect recipe for lots of lugubrious weather and a setup for the next Pacific wave. You're watching Fox 4 News at 9.
Inside every storm, there was potential. The worry, panic, even danger. But for the Fox 4 weather team, fear is not a factor. And our knowledge gives you the power to be prepared. Fox 4, calm during the storm. The lowest gas prices in the metro. Check fox4kc.com. Tomorrow on Fox 4 News in the Morning.
Jazz great Earl Clue is going to perform in our studio, and we're live at Bartle Hall for the Boat Show.
And it looks like we warm up a little bit into the weekend, but a lot of high clouds as well.
They're blowing up the George Brett Bridge this weekend, and traffic is going to be tied up. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Denise, can we talk for a sec?
You can talk to me while I melt this burrito to perfection.
Oh, I love those 99 cents and melty. Let me throw something at you. This weekend, I happen to have access to a gift card. I was thinking that maybe you and me could use.
Perfect. Good talk, Mitch.
It's Mike, but I like Mitch.
It's a deal that'll make you melt. The new 99-cent Beefy Melt Burrito. Seasoned beef and a blend of 3 cheeses melted to complete burrito perfection. Only 99 cents at Taco Bell. Why pay more?
Nebraska Furniture Mart combines all 4 elements of home furnishing excellence to create one amazing savings experience. This Whirlpool Duet laundry pair is $9.94 for each before a $200 rebate. Explore America's largest selection of the newest styles and latest energy-saving technology. And there's plenty of financing available. Fabulous stuff, amazing technology from the experts at Nebraska Furniture Mart. This Saturday from noon to 3, get fit as Nebraska Furniture Mart showcases the latest exercise and fitness products for 2011.
Take a ride with the King, starring the King himself, B.B. King.
Mississippi when I was 10 years old, with a suit cut sharp as a razor and a heart made of gold.
It's time to celebrate B.B. King. January 18th, 7:30 at the Independence Event Center. Reserve seats are on sale now. The King of the Blues, B.B. King.
New at 10, while the economy is growing more stable, see how the housing market may be turning a different direction. That's tonight on Fox 4 News at 10.
When it's time to take control of your fitness, get it right the first time. Consider Fitness Together. One client, one trainer, one goal. In our private, fully equipped suites, your personal trainer has one focus, you.
I work harder in a private setting with my trainer right here than I ever did at the gym.
Right now, try 3 sessions at Fitness Together for $50. With 7 locations, there's a private training suite just around the corner. No contracts, flexible hours, even nutritional counseling. Click fitkc.com.
Welcome back to Fox 4 News at 9. Well, here comes the next wave off of the Pacific. Surf's up, and that means a lot of cloud cover for us, and that fairly active pattern right now is not necessarily bad news for the weekend, but eventually turns into problems. By the way, I need do a big shout out to Den4 Pack 3250 from Heatherstone Elementary. They stopped by this evening. I gave them a quick tour of the weather cave. They were more interested in how all the gadgets worked, and then moved on. But the kids did a great job in there, and there's one Weeblo in the pack right back there. He's apparently in charge. The rest are all Tigers. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Had a great time. Look at this. Audubon, Iowa this morning, 14 below zero. That was the coldest temperature in the nation, and we weren't far from it. Maryville, 13 below. Hamilton, Cosby, also 13 degrees below zero. That literally was the core of the coldest air in the lower 48 this morning. But it's moving on, and good riddance. 29 degrees, official low was 6 below zero. This is likely to be our coldest day of the year in terms of morning lows. And as a result, it really dropped our averages quite a bit. We're running about 5 degrees below normal for the month so far, and no sign that we're going to recover anytime soon. Just enough breaks in the clouds tonight that we'll drop off to about 16 or 17 degrees. That'll soup the skies up, and I expect a lot of gray tomorrow. Even though we'll have a lot of clouds, though, I think we'll recover to about 34. The problem is all this snow on the ground. You can see it all around with a southerly wind flow coming up into it. It's warmer air that carries more moisture into this snowpack. So as the air cools down at night, humidity levels climb, and it creates a thick deck of cloud cover that'll be hard to get rid of with light winds tomorrow. Also, we have some high clouds coming in off the Pacific. Current temperature 21 degrees. The colder air is lifting up to the north with this southerly wind flow, as you can see, but it's also causing humidity levels to climb. There's still a wind chill out there. It's near zero up around Des Moines. Our wind chill's 11. We stay on the cold, soupy side of this front tomorrow, starting off at around 16, 17 degrees in the morning. With the front encroaching on us, we'll make the upper 20s to lower 30s, maybe some mid 30s, particularly on the southeast side of town. And then another front drops in on Saturday that reinforces the chill and just keeps us in cloudy weather until the next big Pacific wave comes our way. This is just kind of running out on its own. This one produces a more powerful situation that arrives on Monday, and at this point in time, looks like it dives over the top of this ridge and heads our way. So Monday and Tuesday, we're still watching for the potential for some precipitation. It might be a little kind of a mix to begin with and then finish up as snow. And as you can see, we're in plentiful supply of cold air for a while. 21 degrees now, southwesterly winds at 8, down to 16 over the next few hours. Then the clouds will force temperatures back up, so it'll be around 21 at 8 a.m. Noontime around 28, and with any luck, and if we hold our tongue just right, 34 degrees, I think, tomorrow afternoon. That'll be closer to normal. 24 tomorrow night, and then our 4-day forecast, a gray-looking weekend, and then problems could begin on Monday into Tuesday. And again, that storm's still off the West Coast, so the computers are still making a lot of guesses about where it's going to go.
But not the meteorologist.
Oh, no. No, we know.
You use a dartboard. I've seen you.
Back in the back.
Yeah,
I try to hide that
Did
thing.
you show the Cub Scouts that?
I
the
did.
Tiger
That's
Cubs?
the very high tech. They wanted to play with it, but come on, guys. I need to get back to work here.
Taking up valuable time.
Exactly.
Thanks,
All
Mike.
righty.
Jackson County prosecutors have charged a teen in the death of a 38-year-old Ruskin Heights mother. 17-year-old Kelly J. Lewis charged with second-degree murder for the shooting death of Helen Reagan. Lewis also facing armed criminal action charges. Kansas City, Missouri police say Lewis and a second juvenile shot up the Reagan's home at 118th and Holiday on the south side because of an earlier fight with Reagan's oldest son. Reagan was hit and killed as she sat inside. Her husband and 4 kids were home during the shooting last April, but no one else was wounded. A neighbor's home was also struck by gunfire.
I can't say that I'm pleased that they'll get what they deserve, but I feel that justice has been served.
Lewis bond set at $250,000 tonight. If convicted, he could be facing up to 30 years in prison.
The Don't Ask, Don't Tell controversy is the inspiration for the newest performance at the Kansas City Repertory Theater. That's the policy that previously forbid homosexuals from serving openly in the military. Congress repealed the law late last year. Mark Wolf spent 3 years interviewing people to develop the script.
But my sense was that when you silence people, when you hold people down, you know, you sort of create this volcano. And human nature, I think, you have to tell your story.
The show runs Friday until February 6th. This Saturday only, the KC Rep will allow all veterans and active military personnel into the show for free. Just show up with a military ID when you pick up your tickets. For more information, go to fox4kc.com, click Seen on TV. All right, did it seem like this election cycle had more negative political ads than the last one?
Well, Wesleyan University in Connecticut says it did. In 2010, more than half of the political ads, both federal and gubernatorial, were what researchers term as attack ads. That compares to nearly 45% in 2008, just 32% in 2004. Researchers say the high number of competitive races drove that negativity. No heat since October. That's been the reality for a 67-year-old Metro woman until a friend called the Fox 4 Problem Solvers.
Hot pics of the literal variety. The surveillance video of a truck versus a gas pump. Did you go to bed as a Scorpio? Wake up as a Libra? If that doesn't make much sense, we're going to sort it all out for you. One person's new zodiac on Fox 4 News at 9.
Save 20, 50, up to 70% off at Big Bob's Outlet 2011 sales event going on now. Save up to 70% off new sofas, new living room groups, new bedroom sets, and new dining room set. Save 20, 50, up to 70% off new leather sofas, new living room chairs, and new mattresses. Plus, get 6 months interest-free financing at the 2011 sales event. Hurry in now to Big Bob's Outlet. Always new, never used. 3 convenient locations or check out bigbobsoutlet.com.
If you live in South Kansas City, you can find a Ford right around the corner. I found my Ford. It's easy to find a Ford in South Kansas City right around the corner at Robsite Ford in Lincoln. From your own backyard to right around the corner, Robsite is the place to find a Ford in South Kansas City.
American Family Insurance created a unique policy for the Conway family. It's called the policy. American Family Insurance knows every family is unique, but one thing they all need is quality auto coverage with outstanding service at a fair price. Call 1-800-MY-AMFAM or visit amfam.com for an auto quote today. Customized protection costs less than you think. Is your coverage as unique as your family?
American Family Insurance.
Get your new year off to a stylish start at Alaskan's January clearance sale. Save 50 to 70% on all furs, leathers, and shearlings. Alaskan Fur. Open Sundays.
Alaskan Fur, Alaskan Fur.
The story you know. The characters you love. The magic you can't resist.
You were expecting Prince Charming?
Shrek the Musical. It's pricelessly funny. Perfect for everyone 8 to 80.
I'm like a crackpot magnet.
It's a big fat hit. DreamWorks Shrek the Musical.
Now playing at the Music Hall. Get your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
This Fox 4 segment is brought to you by Shawnee Mission Hyundai and Kia.
Back live here on Fox 4 News at 9. It's a high-tech showdown at Johnson County Community College, the first ever competitive event for Metro high schoolers. Fox 4's Bob Hess working for you with how competition is training for careers.
Almost 300 students from 17 high schools around the metro competed in the technology competition.
You get more experience, and it looks better on applications. The more experience you have, the better you'll do in college and later in life.
Students compete independently or with classmates in a number of different contests.
In our class,